Have you noticed that you're waking up more often at night to use the bathroom? Feeling a little more tired than usual? Maybe seeing slight puffiness in your face in the morning and telling yourself it's just age. What if I told you those small changes might not be just aging at all, but early whispers from your kidneys asking for help? Here's the part most people in America never hear. Kidney damage doesn't start with sharp pain. It doesn't come with flashing warning lights. It builds quietly, silently, sometimes for years, while your body keeps adapting, compensating, pretending everything is fine. And by the time your lab numbers finally shift, the stress has already been there much longer than you think. I'm Dr. Johnny, and after years of seeing patients shocked by their first abnormal creatinine result, I can tell you this. The scariest thing about kidney decline isn't how loud it is. It's how quiet it can be. But here's the good news, and I want you to really hear this. Your body was designed with a powerful natural filtration system. And when you support it the right way early enough, consistently enough, you can reduce stress on your kidneys and help them function more smoothly before serious damage sets in. Today, I'm going to show you something surprisingly simple. 5 everyday fruits that can help lower oxidative stress, support healthy circulation, and assist your kidneys in flushing out waste more efficiently. No extreme detox, no dangerous cleanses, just science-backed practical steps you can start immediately. And one of these fruits, the one most people overlook, may be exactly what your kidneys have been missing. Let's start with something most people completely underestimate: oxidative stress. Not toxins in some dramatic Hollywood detox sense. I'm talking about the invisible chemical stress happening inside your kidneys every single minute while they filter nearly 180 liters of blood per day. That process alone creates unstable molecules called free radicals. And when those molecules build up faster than your body can neutralize them, they begin quietly damaging the tiny filtering units inside your kidneys, the nephrons. I once had a 59-year-old patient, let's call him Mark. He exercised. He wasn't overweight. His labs were mostly normal, but his fasting glucose had been hovering in the pre-diabetic range for 3 years. Nothing dramatic, just slightly elevated. What he didn't realize was that those small, repeated glucose spikes were increasing oxidative stress in his kidneys day after day. By the time his creatinine inched upward, the stress had already been building silently. Here's what the science tells us. Studies in nephrology and metabolic research consistently show that oxidative stress is one of the earliest drivers of kidney cell injury, especially in people with unstable blood sugar. When glucose fluctuates, it accelerates the production of reactive oxygen species. Over time, that damages the delicate membranes of the nephrons and triggers low-grade inflammation. Not pain, not obvious symptoms, just slow wear and tear. This is where gooseberry, also known as amla, becomes powerful in a way most Americans don't expect. It's not trendy, it's not flashy, but it is one of the richest natural sources of vitamin C and polyphenols found in whole foods. And that combination matters. Vitamin C helps neutralize free radicals before they attack kidney tissue, while plant polyphenols help reduce inflammatory signaling pathways linked to metabolic stress. Research has shown that antioxidant-rich foods can significantly lower markers of oxidative damage in individuals with metabolic imbalance. In simpler terms, you're not forcing a cleanse. You're lowering the chemical stress that weakens your kidneys in the first place. That distinction is huge. Now here's the second layer, and this is where many people miss the connection. Gooseberry doesn't just work on oxidative stress. Compounds within amla have been shown in multiple studies to help improve insulin sensitivity and reduce post-meal glucose spikes. And since diabetes remains the leading cause of chronic kidney disease in the United States, anything that stabilizes blood sugar reduces long-term pressure on your filtration system. Think of it this way: if oxidative stress is like rust slowly forming inside a water filter, unstable blood sugar is like turning up the water pressure. Amla helps with both reducing the rust and easing the pressure. The beauty is in the simplicity. About half a cup of fresh gooseberry a day, or 1 to 2 tablespoons of high-quality amla powder mixed into water or a smoothie. No extreme protocols, no 3-day juice cleanses, just steady biochemical support. And consistency matters more than quantity. But let me ask you something directly. Have you ever been told, your blood sugar was a little high, Yet no one explained what that actually means for your kidneys over the next 10 years. If that sounds familiar, I want you to comment below, because these small numbers are often the ones that matter most long-term. Lower oxidative stress, stabilize glucose, protect the nephron. That's the first layer of defense. But here's what most people still don't realize. Even if your blood sugar is controlled, your kidneys can still suffer from something even more dangerous and far more common in adults over 50. And that's where the next fruit changes the conversation entirely. Now, even if you lower oxidative stress and stabilize your blood sugar, there's another silent threat that damages kidneys every single day, and most people over 50 are already dealing with it. High blood pressure. Your kidneys are not just filters. They are networks of microscopic blood vessels so delicate that even slight sustained pressure can begin to weaken them. Imagine pushing water through a coffee filter at double the pressure it was designed for. It might hold for a while, but over time the structure begins to strain, stretch, and lose efficiency. That's exactly what uncontrolled or even mildly elevated blood pressure does to your kidneys. I remember a patient named Linda, 64 years old. Her blood sugar was perfect. She ate clean. She walked daily, but her blood pressure hovered around 145/90 for years. It's not that bad, she was told, yet over time her kidney filtration rate slowly declined. No dramatic symptoms, just a gradual drop that caught her completely off guard. The issue wasn't sugar, it was pressure. This is where black raspberries step in, and they don't just support kidney health in a vague way. They target the blood vessels themselves. Black raspberries are loaded with anthocyanins, the deep purple compounds that give them their color. These powerful plant molecules have been studied for their role in improving endothelial function. That's the inner lining of your blood vessels. When the endothelium works properly, blood vessels relax more easily. Circulation improves. Pressure inside those tiny kidney capillaries decreases. And that matters more than most people realize. Multiple cardiovascular studies have shown that anthocyanin-rich berries are associated with improved arterial flexibility and healthier blood pressure levels. In practical terms, that means smoother blood flow through your kidneys and less mechanical stress on the filtration system. Think of your kidneys like a high-performance filtration plant. It doesn't just need clean input, it needs steady balanced flow. Too much force and the system wears out faster. Black raspberries help restore that balance. About half a cup to 1 cup per day is enough. Fresh or frozen, both retain their beneficial compounds. Add them to oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or eat them on their own. The strategy isn't complicated, it's consistent vascular support. Let me ask you directly, do you know your blood pressure numbers right now? Not last year. Not around normal. I mean today. If you've ever been told it's slightly elevated, that's not a small detail. That's a long-term stressor on your kidneys. And here's something important. Many people focus only on blood sugar and completely ignore vascular health. But your kidneys depend on circulation just as much as chemistry. Protecting the vessels that feed your kidneys may be just as critical as protecting the nephrons themselves. Lower pressure, improve vessel flexibility, support steady blood flow. That's the second layer of kidney defense. But only knowing this still isn't enough, because there's another factor that quietly connects your heart and kidneys in a way most people never see coming. And if you miss it, even perfect blood sugar and blood pressure may not fully protect you. Here's something most people don't realize until it's too late. Your heart and your kidneys are in constant conversation. And when one starts to struggle, the other quietly follows. You can lower oxidative stress. You can improve blood vessel flexibility. But if circulation between the heart and kidneys becomes unstable, a dangerous cycle begins. It's called the cardio-renal connection, and it's one of the most overlooked drivers of kidney decline in adults over 55. I once spoke with a 61-year-old woman, we'll call her Diane. She came in complaining about mild swelling in her ankles by the end of the day. She thought it was just standing too long. Her blood sugar wasn't alarming. Her blood pressure was borderline. But what was happening underneath the surface was subtle fluid imbalance. Her heart wasn't pumping as efficiently as it used to, and her kidneys were compensating by retaining more sodium and water. That extra fluid then increased pressure on her heart. A loop had formed. This is how the heart-kidney cycle quietly escalates. When the heart doesn't circulate blood optimally, the kidneys receive inconsistent flow. In response, they activate hormonal systems like RAAS, the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, which increases fluid retention and constricts blood vessels. That might stabilize blood pressure short-term, but long-term it increases strain on both organs. Now here's where strawberries become more than just a sweet snack. Strawberries are rich in vitamin C fiber and polyphenols like ellagic acid. These compounds have been studied for their ability to reduce inflammatory markers and improve endothelial function, meaning better vessel responsiveness and smoother circulation. Several large population studies have shown that higher berry intake is associated with improved cardiovascular markers and lower systemic inflammation. And this matters because chronic low-grade inflammation is a key player in both heart disease and kidney disease. It thickens vessel walls, it disrupts filtration, it quietly accelerates organ aging. The fiber in strawberries adds another layer of protection. By slowing glucose absorption and helping regulate insulin response, fiber reduces metabolic spikes that can worsen vascular stress. Remember, stable blood sugar protects nephrons, but stable circulation protects the entire system. Think of it like this: your heart is the pump, your kidneys are the filter, and your blood vessels are the pipes. If one part weakens the others, absorb the stress. Strawberries help calm inflammation across all three components at once. 1 cup a day, fresh or frozen, added to yogurt, oatmeal, or eaten alone. Simple, repeatable, sustainable. But let me pause and ask you something. Have you ever noticed swelling in your feet at night? Shortness of breath when climbing stairs? A subtle feeling of heaviness that you can't quite explain? Those aren't random aging symptoms. They may be early signs that your heart-kidney balance is shifting. Supporting this connection early is one of the smartest moves you can make for long-term independence. Because once the cycle accelerates, reversing it becomes much harder. Reduce inflammation, improve vascular harmony, stabilize the heart-kidney dialogue. That's the third layer of protection. But knowing this alone still isn't enough, because even if your circulation improves and inflammation calms down, there's another force quietly aging your kidneys at the cellular level, and it may be happening faster than you think. Even if your blood sugar is stable, your blood pressure is controlled, and your heart-kidney connection is supported, there's still one silent force working against you every single day, aging at the cellular level. Not aging the way we see in the mirror. I'm talking about microscopic aging inside your kidneys. Every time your kidneys filter blood, they generate free radicals. That's normal. But as we get older, our natural antioxidant defenses decline. When free radicals outnumber protective antioxidants, they begin damaging cell membranes, mitochondrial function, and the DNA inside nephron cells. Over time, filtration efficiency slowly drops. Not dramatically, just gradually enough that most people don't notice until lab numbers shift. I had a patient in his early 70s, active, sharp, still golfing twice a week. His blood pressure was decent. His glucose was under control, but his GFR had been declining about 1 point per year. Isn't that just normal aging, he asked? And yes, some decline is expected, but the rate of decline can be influenced. That's the part most people never hear. This is where blueberries become one of the most powerful tools in your daily routine. Blueberries consistently rank among the highest antioxidant density fruits. Their deep blue color comes from anthocyanins, the same class of compounds we discussed earlier, but blueberries contain them in exceptionally concentrated forms. Research in nutritional biochemistry has shown that anthocyanins help reduce oxidative stress markers and improve endothelial nitric oxide production, which supports blood vessel relaxation and oxygen delivery to tissues, including kidney tissue. In simpler terms, blueberries act like a cellular shield. They don't cleanse your kidneys overnight. They protect the cells that make filtration possible in the first place. Several long-term observational studies have also linked higher blueberry intake with improved blood pressure control and slower vascular aging. And since vascular stiffness accelerates kidney decline, protecting vessel health directly influences how quickly your kidneys age. Think of your kidneys like high-performance engines. Over time, friction increases. Antioxidants are like high-quality oil reducing wear, slowing breakdown, preserving function longer than expected. Half a cup to 1 cup per day is enough to create measurable benefit over time. Fresh or frozen, both work. Add them to oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or eat them as a simple afternoon snack. The goal isn't intensity, it's consistency. And let me ask you something. Honestly, have you ever been told, your kidney function is a little low for your age, but it's probably fine? That phrase alone causes many people to stop paying attention. But probably fine is not the same as protected. Slowing kidney aging isn't about reversing time. It's about reducing unnecessary damage so your filtration system stays resilient longer. Strengthen cellular defense, reduce oxidative wear, support vascular flexibility. That's the fourth layer of kidney protection. But knowing this still isn't enough because even the strongest filtration system can fail if the exit pathway becomes compromised. And that final piece is something many people completely overlook until it sends them to the emergency room. You can lower oxidative stress, you can protect your blood vessels, you can slow cellular aging, but if the pathway that carries waste out of your body becomes inflamed or infected, all of that protection can unravel faster than you think. Here's what many people overlook: your kidneys don't work alone. They filter waste from your blood, but that waste must travel down through the urinary tract to leave your body. If bacteria climb upward, if inflammation builds in that pathway pressure, an infection can move back toward the kidneys. And when that happens, damage can escalate quickly. I once had a patient in her late 60s who thought her recurring urinary tract infections were just annoying. She would drink more water, take antibiotics, and move on. What she didn't realize was that repeated infections were triggering inflammatory responses that stressed her kidneys over time. Eventually, one infection traveled upward and caused acute kidney inflammation. It was a wake-up call she never expected. This is where cranberries play a very specific and very strategic role. Cranberries contain compounds called proanthocyanidins. These aren't just antioxidants, they have a unique ability to prevent certain bacteria, especially E. coli, from attaching to the lining of the urinary tract. And if bacteria can't stick, they can't multiply easily. If they can't multiply, the risk of infection drops. Clinical studies have shown that cranberry compounds can reduce the recurrence of certain urinary tract infections, particularly in women. And fewer infections mean less inflammation. Less inflammation means less upward stress on kidney tissue. But here's the critical detail most people miss: cranberry juice loaded with added sugar can completely cancel out the benefit. Excess sugar feeds metabolic stress, increases inflammation, and can even worsen glucose instability. If you choose cranberry juice, it must be 100% unsweetened. Better yet, use fresh or frozen cranberries or dilute pure juice with water. And about half a cup of whole cranberries or 4 to 8 ounces of unsweetened juice per day is enough. Not excessive, not extreme, just protective. Let me ask you something directly. Have you ever had a urinary tract infection and brushed it off as minor? Or taken antibiotics repeatedly without asking why it keeps coming back? If that's you, comment below. Because recurring infections are not random. They are signals. Your kidneys rely on a clean exit pathway. Think of it like this: even the best water filtration plant will fail if the drainage system is blocked or contaminated. Protecting the urinary tract protects the kidneys upstream. Lower infection risk, reduce inflammatory flare-ups, keep the pathway clear. That's the fifth and often forgotten layer of kidney defense. Before we close, I want you to take a breath with me for a second. Your kidneys have been working for you every single day of your life, quietly, relentlessly, filtering your blood, balancing your fluids, keeping your body stable, even when you weren't paying attention. And the fact that you're still here, still learning, still willing to make small changes, that matters more than you think. The truth is, you don't need extreme detox programs, you don't need expensive supplements or miracle cleanses. What protects your kidneys long-term are simple, consistent habits: stabilizing blood sugar, supporting healthy blood pressure, lowering inflammation, protecting your circulation, and keeping your urinary tract clear. A handful of the right fruits each day, enough water, regular checkups, awareness of your numbers. These small actions repeated over time are what truly preserve kidney function. If this video helped you understand your body a little better, I encourage you to save it. Keep it as a reminder. Revisit it. Share it with someone in your family who might need it. Because kidney damage is often silent, but knowledge doesn't have to be. And if you care about staying independent, staying strong, and avoiding unnecessary medical complications later in life, subscribe to the channel. I share practical, science-based medical insights designed to help you protect your kidneys, your heart, and your long-term health without fear, without hype, just clear guidance you can actually use. Your body has an incredible ability to adapt and recover when you support it the right way. It is never too late to reduce stress on your kidneys. It is never too late to slow decline, and it is absolutely possible to age with strength instead of regret. Take care of your kidneys today, and they will take care of you for years to come.